All right, we're going to go to Dr. M. Sage and bring her back. We've been off for a little bit of time, and we're going to do our TV review for Cobra Kai Season 3. Dr. Sage, are you ready to get back into some reviews?
I'm ready. I'm ready and able.
I am ready, and I am mostly able, I think, these days. All right, so Cobra Kai Season 3. What did you think?
I like Cobra Kai in general. I think season 1 is their best season by far. Season 3, it's losing me a little bit. Cobra Kai, for people who haven't watched it yet, is a karate action show. Has a little bit of everything for everyone, actually. A little bit of throwback 80s, a little bit of teen soap opera, and a lot of karate action. It is a sequel to The Karate Kid, 35 years in the making, and rather amazingly, has all of the same actors that The Karate Kid had.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really liked season 1 and season 2. Season 3, I thought dropped off. Now, I think a little bit can be with the situation. The show shot while it was a YouTube show, and they decided to quit creating content, and then they sold it to Netflix. So I just think maybe it got a little lost, and then any further seasons will be shot with Netflix. And also, I thought in the show it sort of like closed, and they're going to sort of restart with a more Netflixy style show than a YouTube show. But I really did love season 1 and 2. Season 3 I thought was good, but I did not think it lived up to the standard that seasons 1 and 2 definitely put out there.
No, it went in a very dark direction. I thought that was unfortunate, actually, because season 1 and 2 had a lot of comedy and a lot of action, but weren't quite so dark. I would have had no problem allowing an 8-year-old to watch season 1 or 2. Well, maybe a little problem, but I would not have wanted them to watch season 3. I thought it got a little abusive of the kids. After a while, I was binge watching it, and I was like, man, this is getting a little bit hard to watch. I think the Kreese story is just, they're pushing it a little too hard, and I kind of got uncomfortable by the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love John Kreese as a character. He's really fun, but I think there was probably too much Kreese in season 3. I mean, even if you go back to the movies that were made in the 80s, Kreese is a bit character who pops up for he comes in, he overacts, he has a big scene, and then you don't see him for a long sequence. Where this one, he was in a lot of scenes, and he was the whole essential part of season 3. And I think that it begins to scare you when you have a whole lot of Kreese, and then of course they film the Vietnam flashbacks, and you're like, well, this is now getting into Deer Hunter movie territory here.
Yes,
And
it was really, the whole season seemed to revolve around Kreese. I prefer the seasons when they revolve around Johnny and Daniel, of course. I think Daniel is becoming a little bit of a wuss more than I would like him to be. And the whole sequence of going to Okinawa was just like, I know they want to get those scenes from Karate Kid 2 in there, but wow, that was really contrived.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as probably my least favorite part. I love Karate Kid 2. I actually somehow might like it more than Karate Kid, the first one, which seems weird, but I love Karate Kid 2. But the way they put that in there, I just didn't love it. Some of it might be because they didn't have, Mr. Miyagi, Pat, to go back there with him. That
True.
might lose a little bit. The girl character where they just run into her as she's doing her dance in the mall, I'm like, okay, while it's fun to see her, because, I doubt anyone has seen anything she's ever been in since Karate Kid 2.
Exactly.
The only part I did like is when they brought back the villain and he was a, angry, happy guy
He,
now, which I
yeah,
thought was actually what carried it and made it a little bit more fun than the rest of the Okinawa scenes.
yeah, that was definitely the most watchable part because he was pretty funny. He was kind of awesome, and he's whipping Daniel's butt, which I
Yes.
like to see sometimes.
Uh,
So I thought that the whole thing about all of a sudden he's losing his business and he has to go to this meeting in Japan to get it back. It's like, what are the writers thinking here? This is really totally unbelievable.
Yeah, I think they they probably didn't paint themselves into a corner with today's market. You'd think of it if a bunch of karate people trained a bunch of kids to fight and then one of them got paralyzed. They probably would crush his business. But the fact that the only place he could buy cars from was this one place in Okinawa seemed a little bit wonky, and that the
Yeah.
other car dealer in this small little California city was the only one who could, have the exclusive deal. I'm not quite sure that's how capitalistic business works.
Yeah, I bet that was a little hard to believe. I also thought that they really didn't do well with Robbie's story. He had been such a good character in seasons 1 and 2, and 3 they toss him in jail, and that's sort of it, juvie. And it's like, okay, he's got nothing to do there. So I thought that that didn't really work so well either. I know
Uh,
they did that so that Miguel and um, Daniel's daughter could get back together, but I don't know.
yeah, the only thing I sort of liked about that storyline is we did get Kreese sort of coming in there to, you know, brainwash him and get him onto the side of Cobra Kai. So I thought that had a little more realistic touch where, Robbie doesn't trust, his dad, which, I have understand. And he doesn't trust Daniel because he's the one who called the cops on him in the first place. So then in swoops Kreese to try to, brainwash him into moving in there, which I sort of liked that storyline. But the Robbie storyline, I haven't liked. That's probably been my least favorite one since season 1. So I don't like
Yeah,
Robbie.
I agree. I think it's kind of the weakest storyline. Miguel and Johnny offered some nice comic relief, although after you watch it and you look back, you're like, oh my god, I was laughing at an older, a middle-aged man dropping a kid on his butt when he can't walk. You're kind of like, oh, that's a little cringy after laughing
Yeah,
at it the first time around.
I do think that was probably the best sequences throughout the show, though, is you know, Miguel interacting with him and sort of rebuilding his confidence and being able to walk again. That sort of had the most, like Karate Kid feel, where it's make believe, but there's a little realism in there. So I did like that. I also actually liked the little rivalry part between the two girls who, are on different sort of sides of the track type thing, where the one girl who's trying to take care of her family, and then you got Daniel's daughter, who's a little bit of a Richie
Princess.
snob. And I did like those two sort of having a little bit of a rivalry. I thought that storyline was pretty decent in season 3, though it does get a little dark there.
Yeah, Tori gets very dark. You have to kind of wonder where the heck they're going to go with this, and just how dark can they get in season 4, or maybe they can take it back. I enjoyed season 1 with the karate tournament and everything, and we've kind of gotten away from that into just fighting in hallways and breaking into people's houses and fighting, and I don't know. I thought that the tournament was more Karate Kid, more throwback, kind of more fun.
Yeah, I think maybe that's where, like season 4 will start to rebuild it back into getting it into tournament and intertwining these rivalries back and forth. What did you make of the Elizabeth Shue appearance?
I was surprised that they got Elizabeth Shue to come back. I thought it was pretty funny, but man, she's in and out. Boom. I thought that they did a good job though with the whole country club Christmas party thing. I thought it was pretty fun. I was surprised to see that she actually did that.
Yeah, I loved it because I love Elizabeth Shue, and she came on, and of course she's great, and I think she was
Mm-hmm.
every young male's fantasy in the '80s, or at least in the top 5 of girls of the
Oh
'80s
yeah.
that young boys liked. But I just wish it'd been more, because I thought she came in and was just awesome, especially the country club scenes. That was also one of my favorite scenes
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah,
season.
that was really good.
I do wish maybe season 4 she comes back and is just a angry vixen and tries to break up the Daniel marriage, and then tries to set those two back
They,
in a rivalry. But that probably is too much to ask,
well, they
especially.
left it open for that. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
not
know.
sure Elizabeth Shue wants to stick around on a series like Cobra Kai. I don't
Yes,
know.
nor does she really need to, though. Actually, none of these people really need to. I think they're all doing quite well. Um,
I don't know about that. Have you really seen them do much before Cobra Kai? I mean, Ralph Macchio,
well, yeah,
what was
but
he doing?
they don't have to. That was the thing. Uh, like Karate Kid 3 was made so Ralph could buy his beach house and stuff like that. He makes that joke. So, and Zabka has, been working for, a long time, and he's a
Yeah.
producer and stuff. So, I mean, I think at least I doubt the kids are all that wealthy, and I'm sure they aren't more wealthy by making the show. Now that Netflix has bought it, they might be a little more wealthy, but I think Ralph and Zabka probably are doing okay. I know Elizabeth Shue is doing okay.
Elizabeth Shue's doing just fine.
Yes. I don't know about the Japanese actress, but uh, I, I'm assuming she's probably all right as well. She seemed to look pretty good, so I
She looked very good.
so I'm thinking
Very
she's
good.
probably all right.
I tell you, Zabka has become a much better actor. He was
Yeah.
not a great teen actor. He is a much better actor as an adult.
Well, I think he just got, he got put into the bully role. I mean, if you think of anything from the '80s, it was him as being the, you know, heel bully in pretty much everything he did in the '80s. Now, while he probably didn't love that, especially when he gets typecast, and probably couldn't get any roles in the '90s because of it,
Yeah.
it did give him acting work, and he's probably making nice residuals off everything he did in the '80s. But yeah, I think he always could act. I think he just sort of got typecast into, you know, that kind of role where he's always the bad guy bully. And it's a
Yeah.
little fun to sort of see him. I don't know if he's not a bad guy bully, but he's a little bit more
Well,
fun in this one.
that's the best part is he is a really well-rounded character. Out of all of the characters that they show on Cobra Kai, it's his character. It's Johnny Lawrence that you feel sorry for. Sometimes you don't like him. He's stuck in the 80s, and yet he does all right. I mean, I really think that he has the best written character on the show.
Yeah, I especially season 1. He was easily my favorite part of season 1, and then
Definitely.
season 2 he was still really good, and season 3 when he makes the stupid Eagle Fang dojo and they have the Eagle Fang logo.
I
All I
love the
know,
Eagle Fang.
I want an Eagle Fang dojo T-shirt. If I didn't think people would confuse it with like some sort of Leonard Skinner shirt, I definitely would wear it around.
Oh, he would like that if you confused it with a Leonard Skinner shirt,
Yes, but I wouldn't
probably.
like that.
No, Eagle Fang, awesome. That's why you gotta love that character. They come up with the best writing for him. Daniel LaRusso is Daniel LaRusso. I mean, there isn't much they can do with that character. But Johnny Lawrence, they can do anything with that character.
Yeah. Are you optimistic for future seasons? The only thing But
Huh.
we'll get into this probably also more with our next show, Bridgerton. But about 3 seasons, I start to wear down on these type of shows.
I agree with you. I
I'm
think
excited
that
because Netflix has control, and I think their budget will be better, and they might be able to, do more. But we're starting to run out of characters to bring back, unless we are going to bring back Elizabeth Shue much more. Now, I did like the ending where we, harken back to Karate Kid 3, and we're bringing in, a new villain here.
yes. Yes.
So we might not get quite as much Kreese, and we get a sort of new bad guy. Now, granted, he's not much different than Kreese, other than he's
No.
he's a
No.
little more smarty rich bad guy than just probably PTSD Vietnam
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
guy.
I think they are running out of material, and I think that will end up hurting them. They have to decide a little bit more which direction they're going to go into, because between season 1 and season 3, they've really gone in very different directions. And if they want to harken back towards season 1, I think that would be a great way to go. But I'm not sure they're going to do that. Now, I'm not sure Netflix will do that.
Well, I am curious to see what Netflix will do to it, but I will say by the end of this one, I started to feel I
It's
think this
done.
thing has come full circle. It was a fun
Yep.
ride, and now we are probably done. But I will give it a chance, with Netflix, to see what sort of infusion we can get, at least money wise.
Oh, I'll watch it for sure.
Because
But I
I'm not
don't
sure
know
they
that they can
had a huge budget
really.
with YouTube.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And my guess
They
is a
I
lot of it
did
was
see.
a
Did
spin
you
on
see
Machio.
at the end of January they put a call out for extras and actors in Atlanta because they were filming.
Were you going to go down there and audition?
Yes, I pulled out my karate moves and I was ready to go. And then, the extra COVID hit, and I thought, well, I can't make it to Atlanta to try out for Cobra Kai.
I could bring you in as a new sensei, or maybe you could just grab one of the karate judge parts where you.
Ooh, I would be good at that. Or the council arguing for the matte color. I'm not so sure about the blue with the gold fist. I think we could do better.
Probably so. That's what we can do. I guess there'll probably be some more school scenes. You could be a principal in there or something. That seems like a pretty drab role.
Man, I don't want to be typecast as the principal. Come on.
Yes, I don't think any of us would probably want that one. But all right, what is your overall?
No, Champ, aren't you going to come pick me up so we can go down there and become extras on the set?
I don't want to be an extra on the set. That seems like a lot of standing and not being paid a whole lot of money.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio. Ralph
Later.
Macchio might be like, don't look me in the eye.
I feel like Ralph's probably pretty laid back.
I'm joking, of course.
Yes, I know. Oh, all right. So rating wise, what did you give Cobra Kai season 3?
I give season 3 a 2.75.
Oh,
because
really
I thought that it just didn't live up to the other 2 seasons, even though I watch it again. And I give season 1, almost a 5, because I thought season 1 was great. But by the time I finished season 3, I was like, I'm not sure I want to watch anymore.
Yeah. I think if we're going overall series wise, I'd be in the very high 3s to almost 4 range.
I would agree with you on that.
Complete series. This season, I was probably more in your range of about 2.5, 2.7.
Yeah.
It has entertaining moments, but I definitely think the season sort of storyline dropped off quality a bit.
I agree. Yeah. I thought that they just were, going in a bad direction. Yeah. Hopefully, season 4 will be back up to a 4 or a 5.
Definitely. All right. So before we get into our Super Bowl prop bets, next week or the week after, we're going to be doing Bridgerton. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm
All
sure
right.
you loved it.
Well, I didn't mind it. The one after that, the flight attendant, I've minded a lot more and possibly have not finished yet. And am trying to stall out before we get to that review because that would mean I'd have to finish it.
But it's a Golden Globe nominee.
Yes, I know. I think we'll also be getting on to the Golden Globe noms next week as well. All right, so let's